Welcome to Commercially Speaking, the only commercial real estate podcast where a former Marine turned CCIM instructor tries to translate asset management to a left-handed theater kid who once thought NOI was a French greeting.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Bo Barron, CCIM.
I'm Timmy Barron, ADHD.
And yes, that really happened.
It was charming. I said it with confidence.
And I'm still recovering.
Anyway, today's guest makes the rest of us look like sentient laundry piles.
You're not wrong. She's a speaker, coach, and consultant who helps people become the kind of leaders they pretend to be on LinkedIn.
She's the co-founder of West of Perfection, which sounds like a boutique candle shop, but is actually a world-class coaching company.
She's also the mother of 7
I'm sorry, 7 what?
children. Timmy, human children.
She has 7 children and still managed to write a book, build a business, run marathons, and become a sought-after speaker?
Yes,
I took a nap yesterday and forgot to reply to 2 emails.
that tracks.
Yeah, except it's like 200 emails. Her book is called Made for More, which ironically is also what my therapist says after watching me eat gas station sushi.
You really need boundaries.
And Katherine Wathen.
Got it.
There it is. She's about to help build yours.
Please welcome to the show, live in the studio,
Mary Katherine Wathen.
Thanks, guys. That's a great intro.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep talking. I'll take more.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look,
Yes.
not to draw attention to this, but like, see the guns on her?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Autumn used to take classes from her, and Autumn was like,
Tybo?
Oh,
I don't
like
know what-
fitness classes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you'd call them, but like, I shouldn't tell you this, but Autumn's like,
Let's go.
she's so full of energy all the time. It was almost like Autumn didn't know if she had it in her when you walk in the room, kind of thing. And she did.
Oh,
You
no.
pull it out
I
of
was just
people,
a
you know.
substitute. I was just a substitute, but I did like to jump around. I said, if you can just make them not breathe for an hour, they'll think it was a great class.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you still do that?
No, I work out every day on my own, but I do not teach fitness classes anymore.
Yeah, gotcha.
In my former life.
Gotcha. Because Cody does CrossFit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing. That's like a cult.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. It's incredible. But Cody used to do Tybo.
She also was an amazing gymnast.
Incredible gymnast.
I definitely fangirled her when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Fangirl. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did too.
unbelievable. She could like do backflips on the beam and land it. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just wrote her a birthday message a couple days ago. It was just a couple days late. But yeah, I was all these memories of her doing gymnastics, watching her do on the unparalleled bars, trying to do this one particular move and failing over and over until she didn't. And then Tybo, she was always doing Tybo in the house, which I told her it probably should have been called Ty Cody.
Yeah.
A little
yeah,
bit
it was
more
a little,
accurate. Yeah. But anyway, love you, Cody. Shout out to Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, our sister Cody.
Happy recent birthday.
Yeah. So,
By the way,
Yeah.
happy birthday yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
oh, belated happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, 44.
Yeah, amazing.
Privileged age.
Wow. Wow, you look incredible.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Very welcome. So, why do we have Mary Katherine here?
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
And how do you all know each other?
Through Mike Arnett, probably.
Yeah,
I
who we
knew
were just
you all
talking
as
to, but-
kids. I think our dads know each other, and I knew who you all were, but you're a little older than me. And then I knew who you were because I was always good friends with a mutual friend, Mike Arnett. He would talk about his best buddy, Bo Barron from Owensboro.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he really introduced us
yeah, I think that's right.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And every time he comes to town, he just goes and sees us and you.
Yeah. In
And we love
fact,
him.
when he
He's the
had,
best.
I think when, I don't remember which son. Who's number 9?
Let's see. Nathan, Josh, Maria, David, John Paul, Stephen. No, I miss Andrew, Stephen, Jacob. Who am I missing? See, Andrew, Stephen, Yeah, I think Jacob's the baby.
Jacob's the baby, I think.
Yeah, I missed somebody.
So
in there.
I think when
Whoever I
Jacob,
missed, I'm sorry.
when Jacob was, this relates to you as well.
Little baby Jacob.
Here's what happened. This is our
He's
good
8,
buddy,
baby.
Mike Arnett. Mike was my roommate in college.
Oh, okay.
One of my best good buddies, right?
Yeah.
So he goes off into the Army, becomes a doctor in the Army, still in. And so he starts having a lot of kids.
Peter, I miss Peter. Go ahead.
Peter.
Love you, Peter.
Peter.
He has
shares
9
a-
kids.
He shares a birthday with 3 of my kids. 3 of my kids have the same birthday. But anyway,
Whoa.
go ahead. Go
No
ahead.
twins or triplets?
One
Just
set of twins.
One
But go
set
ahead,
of twins.
Go ahead,
and a,
Peter.
Wow.
Don't miss Peter.
So Mike sends me a humidor with 20 cigars in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't really smoke cigars. In college, we would have a cigar every once in a while, but I hadn't, as an adult, really gotten into cigar smoking. And so he sends me a humidor, which is cool, and it had 20 cigars in it. And the note said, "Hey, I need you to deliver the 10 of these to a certain number of people." The Wathens were on there, and Terry Abundant was one, and you keep the rest. So I didn't know anything, so I grabbed 10. I think I took Will and Ben with me. We deliver these cigars, and then later that week, all the brothers were in town. And if you remember, Dad and all of us, I brought cigars over. We all had a little bit of bourbon and some cigars.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the first time we'd ever hung out like that.
Right.
As
Wow.
like adult brothers and dad.
That's right.
On the back porch.
Big moment.
And cigars,
it was-
which were courtesy of Mike Arnett.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Mike's been bringing people together his entire life. But the reason why Mary Catherine's on the show is she's a super connector.
Yeah. Like a fiber. Like wireless.
Ultra
fiber,
broadband.
super speed downloads, connecting people.
But
Love it.
you're not in commercial real estate.
No.
We're a commercial real estate podcast.
Right.
But we had, we had Alan Buchanan on
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago, and we were talking about how to connect with
Yes.
tangential businesses and how you can mutually help each other out and stuff
Right.
like that. But of everybody I know, especially anybody in town, she's more connected than anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit interested in hearing how you pull that off. Because
It's a great question.
Because there's some of this, I wonder. I'm going to set you up. You can tell me what you think. But like for Dad, for instance.
Yeah.
Dad can connect with anybody. His emotional IQ is off the chart.
Yes.
You put anybody in front of him and he can relate
Right.
with them. And it's totally natural to him. I don't have that superpower, and I've had to kind of learn it over time. And if you ask Dad how to do it, he has no idea. It's completely natural to him. He doesn't understand why everybody can't do that. It's
Right.
a natural gifting of his. And so I wonder, is this a natural gifting of yours where you've just your whole life you've been connecting people and obviously you care about people, or is it something that you've developed and try to hone on purpose? Because regardless of the industry, like the ability to connect with people and then to connect others helps. I mean, look, you can look at it in a very selfish way and say, and it helps you for sure because you have this incredible network, but you use it to help others all the time. So how do you do that? Hey, if you're new to commercial real estate investing, you probably know the feeling. Brokers, underwriting, raising capital, where do you even begin? And that's why CRE Investor Coach exists, to give new and emerging investors a clear step-by-step path to closing their first deal. I believe in this program so much, I actually joined the team as an adjunct faculty member. That's how committed I am to helping more people get into the space right now. Whether you want to go at your own pace with on-demand training, launch your first investment with expert coaching, or scale with a mastermind of other ambitious investors, there's a roadmap here for you. Inside, you'll learn how to define your investor identity, analyze deals with confidence, talk to brokers like a pro, raise capital, and build a real acquisition pipeline without all the guesswork. This is about building a business that blesses your life, not breaks your spirit. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and actually get in the game, check out the link in the show notes and start your journey today. Learn, launch, and scale with CRE Investor investor coach. This episode is also brought to you by Site to Do Business, commercial real estate's most advanced toolkit, providing commercial real estate professionals like me with premier data, mapping, and marketing tools to win business and revolutionize decision making. Visit stdb.com to learn more.
Yeah, so it's a great question. And
Longest question
number one,
I've ever
I
asked
love
in
it.
my
No,
life.
I love the setup because you could go so many different directions with that. For me, it's just something like your dad that's unconsciously competent. And I think those things are natural gifts that God gives us. And those superpowers he gives us, we all have different ones, right? That's your superpower. He gave you that gift that you can't, I just do it, right? It's nothing I did on my own. And I do have a genuine love for people and a genuine, I just love people. I love seeing how I can help. And across all industries, across all people. And I think if you really, truly care about people and like, I'm genuinely interested to get to know you, people know if that's fake or not.
Right.
And it's, I just love people and love their stories. And I think at the heart, so what I do in my company is leadership development, organizational health. But really underneath of that, we go a few layers deep and we do human formation. And I think at the heart of us all, we as humans, we're all pretty similar. We're all connected. We're all pretty similar. We want to feel seen, known, loved, and heard. And if you can pour into people and help them feel that, then it's a gift, but I love it. And I really feel if I can help other people connect and help you in your business and help you in your business, I don't think about how it helps me. It's just a natural thing that I do.
Yeah.
But I do believe to be abundant and to give and give and give, and it'll come back 100-fold. But that's not the reason I do it.
Yeah.
I just think, all right, that's what God put me on this earth to do, to use my gifts. And hopefully if I use my gifts, then I honor him. Right. And if I don't, then I'm not being the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So, but it is unconsciously competent for me. I love it. I do it naturally. I couldn't start to tell you how to do it. I love for people to know that they're not alone, because I think they say loneliness is the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I dream of being lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Is that a nightmare, or is that like I could use a peaceful weekend?
I could use a peaceful weekend.
We were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about this before. Oh, well, we talked about it on the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's never alone.
Never
Right.
alone.
No,
And
never
your
alone.
kids range in age from what
From
to what?
2 to almost 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. Loneliness is like something that people absolutely fear, but also want so badly as well. To be alone, right?
Well, I
Loneliness
think that
and to be a loner.
you can be surrounded by people and still feel very alone.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that if you can help people feel like, I think you are not alone, are four of the most powerful words in the English language. Because ultimately we're made for community.
Yes,
I mean,
right.
look, God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit live in community. They show us, they model it all for us. And we're made to live in community and to need people. Do you need some alone time? Yes. But loneliness is very different than being alone.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that, I think, is where my gift is, to be able to relate to people and to help them feel seen, known, loved, and heard, and that they're not alone in whatever they're going through. Because as humans, we might think our circumstances are unique, but we're very, very similar. We might struggle with different things, but we all have those similar things that we struggle with.
Yeah. Will you walk us through, take us back when you, maybe high school or before, where you began, maybe around the time you began to recognize that you had, what your gift was,
Yeah.
whether you could name it or not, and then how it led into, I could do this as my living.
Yeah.
One, apart from, your purpose, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
walk me through that.
Yeah, so it's funny you asked that, because yesterday for my birthday, my daughter made me this scrapbook with 44 letters from people in your life. And my dad, I was reading his letter last night, and he was like, you had this gift at a very young age. So it was interesting that you're asking me that today. I just read this letter last night of like, you were always, my 2-year-old talks like a 12-year-old because she's around a lot of people, right? She's very talkative, and he said you were so like that, advancing your communication, like that was just a gift that you've always had, and I never knew how you would use it, and quite frankly, I didn't either. And I went to school, and I had a double major in political science and corporate communications, and I thought I might go to law school, but I worked on the Hill for a year and for a summer, and figured out I don't want any part of this, which is great, right?
Yeah.
Like spend a summer and save 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So it was really a gift. And I got out of school and worked in corporate America. And I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I connected with every doctor and every nurse and was able to get into all these offices just through this natural gift. So I think I started to know then. I mean, I was super involved at UK.
Yeah.
I was friends with everybody.
You were student body president, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's incredible. Did you know that? Student body president of University of Kentucky. That's
did
the
not.
ball that's right behind you. That's University.
I
of
am
Kentucky.
familiar with the University of Kentucky.
So Tubby
but
was my big friend. Is that his autograph on there?
Yeah.
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 So.
Oh, wait. Mike gave me that.
Oh, did you? We love you, Mark Arnett.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Shout out. I still keep in touch with Tubby, actually.
Oh, wow.
So I was on the board. There was one student on the board with all these adults. And so I was the one student. And he would always tease me because I ran there and my feet looked disgusting. And he would tease me about my lack of toenails. But, so it was funny. They would always pop off, right? I didn't have any toenails when you're running distance. But anyhow, I was super involved at UK and just had a gift of connecting then. Was not in a sorority. And people would say, actually, I was I think at the time, the only homecoming queen elected at UK that wasn't in a sorority
Oh, wow.
or voted or whatever you call it. Because you were always nominated by a sorority. But my husband was in a fraternity and his fraternity nominated me. And they're like, how does that work? I'm like, because I'm friends with everyone, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just think it's who I am.
Mom was homecoming queen.
She was.
Was that in high school or at UK?
I think it was at UK.
We have to meet.
Yeah.
I don't know your mom.
You haven't met her, Mom?
She wasn't in a sorority.
She was.
She was?
I think she was, yeah. Yeah, she
I'll
was.
have to ask her now. We'll have to get to the bottom of this. They tell me that, but it could be a lie.
Yeah, she was.
Well, there's a little bit of...
She was, and Dad was in a fraternity.
I knew Dad was in a fraternity.
We
but
know
I
that
didn't-
because we got paddled. Did you get paddled by his paddle?
Oh, yeah. I got the fraternity paddle treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I hate fraternities.
My last paddling, I think I was a teenager.
Yeah. No, I was definitely 16.
you're a little
And I
old.
earned it.
Yeah.
Oh, I earned it.
Yeah.
but-
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, let's talk about something else.
All right. So you're super connected at UK.
Yeah.
Right. And you began, and then you went into pharmaceutical sales.
Yes.
Right. And with your gifts, it seems like, sales would be really great. Right. But at what point did you carve what you are doing now?
Yeah. So really, I say this with love, but I don't know that anyone in that industry really thinks it matters if I show up to work today. And I just wanted to do something that mattered.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that made impact in people's lives, right? I mean, I had fun. I'd bring people some Chick-fil-A and talk to some people, but I was having to talk about medicines.
Right.
And I'm like, this does not make my heart sing. So fast forward, we had 3 babies in a year. We had one and then twins. And I knew I wasn't going to go back to corporate America. It's too much. And that was a really hard thing for me because I loved work.
Yeah.
Loved work.
Yeah.
But really, my husband and I talked about it. It was a big leap of faith at that time because I made about 67% of our income. And so I walked away from it, which was also a big belief in him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And just really poured into my family. And I'm a busybody. I can't sit still. I have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
We're picking up on that.
I
Yeah.
started a monogramming retail gift shop. Well, started just with little monogramming burp pads out of my home and grew that into a retail gift shop. I think Autumn had some stuff monogrammed. I'm sure I did some stuff. I know I did some stuff.
Oh,
for
I'm
Maddie.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that for 11 years, it was constant. It was busy. It was very successful. But what it really turned into was people, it was mostly women, would come get a gift. I had products and they'd say, but really, I want to ask you about this going on in my life. And my husband, Will, looked at me and he said, they don't want your gifts. They want your time. And that's your real gift. So that kind of led me on this quest to get some certifications in coaching. And at that time, we had 6 kids at that time and really was stuck in a pattern of like not appreciating my life as much as I should and not seeing the beautiful gifts just on Martyrdom Mountain, which I think a lot of moms do that because parenthood is the long game, right?
Yeah.
Your kids aren't thanking you. You're wiping butts. You're getting peed on, puked on,
Yep.
fixing their food. I don't like that, right? And so you, day in and day out, the human person needs to be appreciated. And, you go years without much of that. But I love it because I think the quest of life is to grow out of yourself. And that's what parenthood does. But it hurts
Yeah.
because you are dying to your former self.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a death to that person. And so I got a coach, and she changed my life. She said, your life is so beautiful, and you're not as grateful as you should be. And externally, I always was. I would see you and be like, life is great. But, you know, that was hard at home when you're stuck in your negativity spinning. And I think we all have those things, whatever it is. But I really struggle with a lot of martyrdom mountain. I do it all. I had a lot of ungodly self-reliance, and through a journey in 2017, really was knocked off of my high horse and started this journey, a life-changing journey of, I think we're made up of body, mind, and soul. And I was always very much into fitness, very much into my prayer life. But that mental state, unless you take your thoughts captive and are intentional about it, your life is lived 95% between your ears. And so that's really what my dear friend Erin did for me.
Your coach?
Yeah, my coach. And she's now a friend. She wasn't at the time, and I wondered for a year if she even liked me. But she changed my life so much, I convinced her to start a company with me.
Wow.
So, and we go into, I mean, we do executive coaching, but what really changes people, and you know this from your experience, isn't, we can make goals and we can shoot for that, but that's an inch deep.
Yeah.
When you change who you are, you rise everyone. As a human, when you become a better leader, you're growing in virtue, you're growing in humility, you're growing in responsibility. Now the high tide raises all ships, and we can all reach way more goals than we ever set out to do in this 1 hour coaching session for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right. And so we go to the internal, and so many of us are holding on to things in our life that we have no idea. And I think in America, we have a crisis of using external things to fill an internal void.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
The dopamine hit, the next Amazon package, the next Botox, the next boob job, the next whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. It will never work. And so we want to lead people to internal freedom. So that's kind of the journey of how I got there.
Yeah. So executive coaching, does that mean you're coaching executives?
Yes. So when I first started doing this, I worked a lot with moms, whether they worked or didn't work. But a lot of the women I worked with, it was all women then. I'm like, I can't relate to this. It's hard for me to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. And I'm very driven, type AAA, type. I love getting after it. I grew up with 5 brothers, right?
Yeah.
So I love working with people who are very achievement oriented, very successful, because I can relate to that. And I think we're all stuck in some way. And I think that's the person that you are or have been is, I think, who you can make the most impact with, because you can relate. I can't relate to not being able to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I can't wait for every day to start, right?
Sure.
And so I was in corporate America. I know that, some people really like their jobs, but by and large, most people in corporate America aren't loving their jobs. I think corporate America is kind of dying. So I would say more than 50% of the jobs in corporate America exist to justify their own job. Let's do a reorg. And then whenever we settle in, let's meet again and do another reorg so that we can justify our jobs. It's kind of crazy. And I wanted to do something that really mattered.
Yeah.
What is your purpose? What makes your heart sing? What are you going to get out of bed? Does it matter if you show up tomorrow? Because you need to know that you matter to someone.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, what are we doing here?
So who's the type of executive that's like, thinks to themselves, I need a coach? How many people know that exists, executive coaches? Is that super common?
I think it's growing. Bo, you probably have some insight into this. I think it's growing.
Yeah, I would say most executive coaching is a thing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah, because I'm.
But it wasn't 10 years ago.
No, it sounds.
No, I would put it up there with, did you ever watch Mad Men?
No, I don't watch any TV. I'm entertainment illiterate, Bo.
Okay. Well, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember how they talked about psychology back then?
Yeah.
It was like voodoo. It was looked down upon. It
Yeah,
was therapy.
Yeah.
All that was. And I think that was a part of kind of the DNA of the culture in whatever decade that was. The 50s or the 60s or whatever. Well, I think executive coaching had a little bit of that stigma probably 10 years ago. There were people doing it, but it was probably looked down upon now.
Yeah.
I think in the last 10 years, it's become more of it's like, why aren't you
Right. It is.
Like the best have coaches. You
Right.
look at any industry, the
Every
best have
Olympian,
coaches.
they have 15 coaches. If
Right.
you want to be the best in your industry, why would you not?
It makes so much sense. When it comes to sports, you're like, oh yeah, obviously you need a coach in sports. But until we did this podcast, and I realized how many coaches you have, right?
Yeah.
You got a coach for this, and I guess 2 I can think of. And then all the very, very successful, like Bob Knackle has a coach, right? He's a very successful New York City broker. And I did not realize how many very successful people had coaches in their lives or sought that out. So that's where the question comes from. Because it seems like if you're at the top and you get a coach, there's a bit of an ego death you have to go through to get a coach, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that. You say, like, who do you work with? You have to be open and ready, and you have to have some humility. But I think goes back to our original conversation. We're not meant to do it alone. I don't think you can see your own stuff that you need to grow in within yourself, right? Especially successful people. And the hardest virtue to find in very successful people, I think, is humility.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it's the greatest virtue of all.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad really taught us that big time.
Well, think about it.
I'm grateful for it.
Why did Satan fall?
Yeah. Pride. Yeah.
Right? And the antidote is his humility.
Yeah.
So, that's the hardest is finding people that are open and ready and humble. But if you're, if you want to take it to the next level, what you got you here won't get you there. Right. And so if you want to stay on the hamster wheel, that's fine. But life is so much more fun when you're growing and you're being challenged. And I know both of your coaches and they're incredible. I mean, you can speak to that. How has it changed your life?
Oh, yeah. Well, one thing, like if you're running any kind of organization, you're up there alone.
Yeah.
And so,
unless you have a executive assistant, which you can get at superpowershq.com/commercially speaking.
Nice plug. Yeah, I don't mean alone in the sense that I don't work with other people.
No, I know.
But that's a real thing. And so to have a coach that can ride shotgun with you and point out. I had a guy who mentored me in college, and we were on a road trip one time, and I was like, in this context, he would have been like a spiritual coach, in the context of what we're talking. And I looked at him and I was like, hey, what kind of blind spots do you see in my life?
Which is so humble.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to be spiritual, not humble. and there's a difference. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly
Like I was trying to impress the guy with my questions, and he's like,
false humility.
Yes, don't
be impressed.
I was not being humble in the moment. Okay. But
Appreciate
he
your
basically said, hey, you've got emotions and you need to figure out what they are. Because I had, what I believed about myself at the time was that couldn't hurt my feelings, thick skin, I'd tease people. We come from a teasing family. It's kind of how we love on each other in some respects, but it's not necessarily healthy all the time either. And so I would relate to people in a way where, sometimes I'd make people really upset, and I'd be like, hey man, I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
And I believed falsely about myself that I didn't have any feelings. And he was like, man, you need to figure out what's going on. You're not the only one who's ever been created that lacks emotions. And,
Well, you have
and they're
them,
powerful.
You're just burying them.
Yeah. And so I took that to heart, started to think about my feelings.
Yeah. Lady
Uh,
Gaga wrote a song about Bo called Poker Face. You can't read my poker face.
Does she bob her head like that when she sings?
She should. No, she's more like
I do know who Lady Gaga is.
Lady Gaga.
Don't know her personally, but
But I am thinking, she's the one. Yeah. That's great. But I went on this journey, where I'm just thinking about this stuff, but I still wasn't feeling things.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't trying to feel my emotions. I was thinking about my emotions, which is a very
great
me
start.
thing to do. But I went and saw a movie with Autumn. We were on a date before we got married, and at the end of this movie, I started crying, and I didn't quit for about 45 minutes. It was like it just started pouring out of me. She thought I had lost my mind.
Had y'all been dating very long?
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
so you were comfortable. It wasn't
Well,
like
like,
a first date or something.
right,
She's
right,
like,
right.
"What a
Well, we
weirdo."
grew up in church together. I've known her since I was 10.
that's right,
so like
that's
there
right.
was still,
Yeah.
there was a lot of.
I felt the same way when I watched the Spider-Man movie with all three
it
of
was
the Spider-Mans.
Armageddon. Armageddon was the movie.
Oh yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the whole sacrifice of the dad thing. It was that little kid running out at the end,
Oh yeah.
running
yeah.
to his daddy
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
And
And then you got
that broke
Steve
the dam.
Tyler. Then you got Steve Tyler coming in just to
Come on, give it to me.
yeah.
Don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah. How was the beginning of that song start?
Oh, I've got it, but I'm not singing it.
Okay, yeah. Don't
Give him the words.
give me the
bro.
first word.
I just lost it.
Don't.
The strands in your eyes. Is that it?
No, that's Edwin
No,
McCain. That's my go-to karaoke song.
Okay. I'm telling you, I'm not very good
Strands
with
in
it,
your eyes.
but I do know this song.
Yeah.
I don't wanna miss a thing.
That's in my
Oh,
song.
now I've totally got. I'll be.
Tell me
I'll
that
be.
we belong together. Dress it up.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's not even his best song.
Edwin McCain.
He did one with Darius Rucker,
Oh,
That's an interesting combo.
Solitude.
was it his song or was it Darius Rucker's?
No, it was his song.
It was. Oh, nice.
It was before I'll be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyhow.
to derail a conversation.
Yeah. What were we? What
Emotive
were we saying?
beings. We are emotive beings.
Yes, feelings.
And that's energy and motion, emotion, right? Right? And so whether you want to recognize it or not, I do believe what I really learned when I started my own journey was awareness is the first prison we free ourselves from. Self-awareness is the first prison we free ourselves from and that's where I think you can't do it alone.
What
Yeah,
prison?
yeah.
What prison is it?
You don't know your own stuff, right? So I
Right.
think I'm not an emotional guy. Yes, you are.
Oh, I am.
We have emotions, but the first prison was your self-awareness. You know what I mean? You will stay there and keep on this tough guy facade in this example
Wait.
until you recognize I am an emotional person. So you let yourself out of that prison and now you are free to feel the emotions, which makes life, I think if you can't feel joy, if you can't feel pain, you have to be able to feel everything
Yeah.
to experience the fullness of life.
Right.
Right.
But are you saying self-awareness frees you from
Mentally.
from your prison, or self-awareness
yes.
is the first prison?
No.
Yeah, it frees you for-
it's the first prison we free ourselves from.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Now I've got these other. Like I was talking to a coach, and he was getting into heart level stuff with me, which I don't enjoy, but I recognize is very important. He was digging in on some of like some heart wound stuff from growing up, and it was with Dad. Now, just to be clear, like we've got an awesome dad.
Yeah.
I love my role as a dad. Like I love being a dad, but like there's zero chance my kids grow up without scars.
No, we're human. We are all human.
There's no, it doesn't, I haven't. And so this guy was digging in on some of the scars. This episode is sponsored in part by Site to Do Business, the ultimate commercial real estate data analysis and mapping tool. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, Site to Do Business provides the data and insights you need to make informed decisions and close deals faster. Frankly, it's the tool that I use the most in my business. Access comprehensive market analysis, demographic data, and powerful mapping tools like ArcGIS, Placer AI, and flood maps all in one place. Identify the best locations for your clients, analyze market trends, and present your findings with confidence. Don't miss out on this game-changing platform. Visit STDB.com today and see how it can optimize your business. And now back to the show. And I worked with my dad, so I'm on the phone with my coach. I can see through to his office. And I'm like, man, I don't want to bring this stuff up. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And he was like, you think your kids aren't going to have wounds? And I was like, well, of course they will, But he's like, you having the ability to free them from some of that, you wouldn't want to do that? And I'm like, dang it, man. And so I walked into Dad's office and I was like, hey, there's this, this, and this. And Dad's response was unbelievable. He goes, basically said, you're right, I'm sorry.
Wow.
And I want you to forgive me for it. I mean, it was completely freeing experience.
Yeah.
And none of that stuff was like, you know, part of it was like, hey, look, you teased me growing up. And so I thought I had this really thick skin, and because I didn't want to get teased, I didn't really come to you with some stuff. And and as a result, as that sort of played out, I've kept people a little bit arm's length, and he completely freed me from all that in his response. And I've had much closer relationships. But it's like, man, people don't want to go and dig into that stuff. And that, like, look, I carried that around, and that was a wound and stuff. And that's nothing compared with what lots of people grow up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the stuff they carry around. It is.
Which you can't imagine if you come from a great home like you all did and like I did. The wounds. You can't imagine.
But I know how hard it was to go after that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I can't imagine going after some of this other stuff, but it was a completely freeing experience, and Dad couldn't have reacted any better.
Yeah.
You know, and
so I'm so grateful for that, Dad.
oh yeah,
Yeah, accepting that, because I've seen that in him. I've seen him grow.
oh yeah.
As we like constantly. Which
what a model.
I pray my kids would have the courage and feel the freedom to come to me with that kind of stuff, so I can do the same thing for them, you know?
Right.
So let me ask you this, with your coaching experience, where the good stuff happens, is it in the head or the heart?
What a I don't. Well, look, I can tell you
both. You need both. You need the head and the heart.
For me, it always starts in the head, and I have to drag it down to the heart. Like, that's not a natural pathway. So I know a lot of people are like big time feelers, and they feel first, and then for me,
but you need reason too. You got to have both.
Yeah, but I start and I'm real heavy on the thinking side. And so for me, it's hard to get to the heart level sometimes. But that's where the work comes in. And I rarely go there without somebody
pushing you.
Yeah, they're either pushing me or inviting me or challenging me to do that kind of work. Yeah. Like, I just don't naturally go there very often. And if we're working with someone that's more of a feeler, our opportunity is to invite them to be in logic. Right. And so I do think it's the balance. The longest journey I think you ever take is from the head to the heart. But man, anything worth doing in life is hard. That was hard for you to go to your dad. Yeah. All the good stuff is hard. Right. That's where all the good stuff happens.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about like feeling versus the thinkers and the feelers? Like, are those the two main categories?
Yes. So if you know, like, about Myers-Briggs, people are either thinkers or feelers, and, you know, logic or feeling. My business partner, Aaron, and I are totally opposite. And our other partner, Tess, she's probably somewhere in the middle, but it's such a dream team when you have both, because you really see all different sides. Like, a lot of times in business, you hire more of yourself. And you don't need more of yourself.
That's often a mistake.
Right? It's a big mistake. Right. And so it makes for a dream team. Like, I'm more of a feeler, but I will she's taught me to come back up to my brain. Yeah. And I'll dig in and be like I said, for a year, like, does she like me? And I'm like, come on, Aaron, tell me you love me today. Right. You know, but I would write her a mushy letter for her birthday, and then Tess is very loving, but, you know, it's a beautiful balance, because I think such the key to life is balance in all things. Too much of anything's not good. Right. Too much exercise, not good. Too much of anything. But it's really finding that and integrating your life. So many people live their life compartmentalized. I go to work and I leave it here. I have my family here. I think integrating your life to allow it to flow how God wants you to is really a freedom.
Can you say more about that? What do you mean?
Yeah. So I think, like, my work flows in my daily life of how it works with my family. And I mean, you might end up on a call with me with a 2-year-old on my hip. Yeah. Now, if I have a client I'm coaching, I'm not going to have them there for a client that's paying me to be coaching them. But if I'm on a meeting with you talking about, hey, can you come do this podcast? Yeah, that's my life. And I don't feel like I have to hide it. Yeah. When I was in corporate America, I was, I have to do this and do this perfectly. And I didn't feel like I could be who I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the integrated life allows you to weave every part of your life. You don't have to hide anything. So you can show up better. You feel free.
Yes.
And then you're authentically who you are. I don't have anything to hide. I wasn't ever doing anything wrong, but I was always worried about, if I stop at 4:55 instead of 5 o'clock, or, I started at 6 a.m. today, but that's very legalistic, right?
Yeah.
And the beautiful part about life is just living in flow and integrating. And, I might be in my shorts and t-shirt almost all the time. So I can grab a run and then come back and do a couple meetings and allowing your life to be woven together.
I see. Yeah. Cause I first jumped to like our dad left work at work and then he came home. But
that's not what she's talking about.
That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about being authentically you in everything that you do.
And I
right?
don't think you can really leave all your work. Like I know when my husband's had a stressful day.
Oh,
And
sure.
y'all knew when your dad had a stressful day. But you do your best to leave work at work and bring home. But you still are thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Right.
then you have to take those thoughts captive. Like, all right, that'll be there tomorrow. I'm here to be dad. I'm here to be mom.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. I think I did see dad stressed, but I always thought I was the source of it.
He was, but he was.
It was rare.
Yeah, but one of my favorite things about Dad is he's always the same guy.
Yeah, he's always the same guy.
And I thought that was the case, and then I got to work with him for years, and in fact, that is the case. It
Which
was
is
like,
amazing.
It is amazing, and that's really what you're talking about.
Yes.
And so we got all kinds of things, I think, with our parents that set us up to think. For instance, I thought that was normal, like just to be the same guy all the time, because that's who Dad is. You know?
Right.
Turns out that's not very normal.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
comes from an inner
surprised me a little.
confidence. You're comfortable with who you are.
Yep.
Right.
So he's internally free.
Mom's the same way too. I don't mean to leave Mom out of that because that's certainly the case with her.
Such a
But
gift. Such a gift that they gave you all.
oh
Right?
yeah,
It is. Yeah.
Like I always say, you don't choose your parents and you can't afford to lose that lottery. It's the greatest lottery in the game of life. It's
Yeah.
who your parents are.
No, we got really lucky with our parents. But I was so surprised when I would meet, especially in college or being a young adult out on your own, and you're making your adult friends and beginning to collaborate with other adults away from your family. I was so surprised at the amount of people that were out loud saying, well, if I do this, it's going to break the facade, right? The facade that they're holding up for whatever. And I was like, what?
Has to be exhausting.
Yeah. It's like, why not just, not put up a facade? It was so, I know we all do it to some degree or whatever, but yeah.
I think 95% of people are not that confident in themselves. And that has to come from no one on this earth. If you're seeking it externally, it won't work.
Yeah.
And I see that in the coaching I do. I mean, I'm like, man, you started a company that's $1 billion and I don't think I'm good enough to do that. I'm like, what? To believe in yourself. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Super successful people. Aaron and I talk about this all the time of, gosh, the confidence is very low.
Yeah.
And I first thought it was women because we're so
Oh no. See,
external.
men, we just call it imposter syndrome.
100%.
We'll call it something different. It's the same dang
It's
thing.
the same thing. And now we work with more men than women. I love working with men because I can relate. I grew up watching the game with the guys,
Yeah.
But it's not women and men. It's across the human race. And I don't know if it's different for Americans. I haven't done much international work, a little bit, but we have a problem with our attachments are external in America of how we look and having the perfect body, the perfect hair. Look, it's a multi-gazillion dollar industry, the beauty industry, and it's for men too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's all a lack of internal confidence and internal freedom.
Yeah. So when you're working with somebody and you notice, they do have a lack of confidence. Now, I'm curious, is that something you point out to them or they know they've got it? It might be a little bit of both, but then where do you go from there?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's different for every person, right? And you have to see where you are. And we say confidence is some people think, oh, you just are a confident person. That's not how things happen. And we relate it back to you take it back. If you want to go somewhere, you start here, but you work backwards. How are we going to get to Florida? So how are we going to get to confidence? And so it starts with small acts of courage. So you didn't know how to ride a bike when you were a kid, but you took that step to do it. And over time, acts of courage will build competence. And as you are competent in something, that will lead to confidence. So if you aren't confident in public speaking, you need to practice a lot. You need to practice in front of the mirror at home by yourself. Then you need to practice in front of your family. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with that. I'm sure you all have improved your podcasting so much since you first started. It's just natural, right? But it doesn't just happen. And so there's going to be some natural imposter syndrome when you become a CEO or own your own company, but you've grown over time. So we help them design what are those acts of courage you can take. And then let's do 3 of those this week. Report back to me next week. How can we lead to competence?
Yeah. So the 3 acts of, so even somebody who's, I'm trying to think of that
That's a very
person.
simple answer.
Right. I know.
Internal freedom is so much more complicated than that.
Right. And I know we don't have time to get deep into the weeds, but I'm thinking of somebody who has a very successful company. It's not like they lack confidence altogether. They lack, is it self-confidence they're lacking, or is it
so you have to figure that out as the coach.
That's what you
have to figure out, where does it come from? So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You have a client that has an amazing company. They're built it all, done so many amazing things, well known in the industry, well known maybe outside the industry. And at the root, you see this desire for everyone to like me. And you can almost always take it back to a childhood wound. And they don't know. They've stuffed it.
Yeah.
They've put it there. They've compensated and overcompensated their whole life. So we're not therapy. Therapy is when you're not operating, you're below baseline. You need to go to therapy. Coaching is like you're at baseline, but you want to take it to the next level. Yeah. But so much of that freedom is something, the lack of freedom is something we've held on to our whole lives. I'll give you an example for myself. Okay. Amazing parents. I had absolutely amazing mom and dad. And they dedicated their whole life to us. My mom worked 1 day a week as a pharmacist at the hospital. And she called it her day off. Right? She's like, it's my day off. She's got 6 kids. Yeah. Well, I subconsciously, pre-2017, when I went through this whole life transformational change, I wanted to work all the time with my monograming business. And subconsciously, I was like, it's time off. It's free, right? It's my time off. And I realized that is wired into my brain, that work is easier than raising kids. And so, of course, then I get to be free. But that was really freeing when I realized, no, that's not a healthy way to look at this. Right. Because I'm running away from motherhood. Yeah. Does that kind of give you a vision?
It does, yeah. It does. I can see how that frees you up, and I can see how that can help you towards being a confident mother, right? Yeah.
And I don't need to run away from them, right? But I need to verbalize, hey, I need a break. Can I go for a jog? Yeah. Or whatever that may be. Right. But keeping on working, and we often do more of what is reinforcing the wound. So I'm just going to work more. Right. And you're just, avoiding. It's like, yes, you're avoiding. Yeah. And you don't even know it. Right. So if we can get to that place with a CEO, they realize once you speak it, you realize it's not that big of a deal. Right. Right. But when you hold it and don't know, you're still bound by it.
Right. The unspoken, it's crazy how big it is
in your head. Yeah. And you get it out and you're like, oh,
labeling something.
Got this.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All the conversations that I've had in my head with somebody, and then you go have the conversation, and it was like, oh.
You do that too?
Not as much as you, I think.
Oh, man. I have 50 versions of a conversation before I ever have it.
Yeah, no.
And it's exhausting, right? I mean, it's important to prepare.
I don't know. What's exhausting is I never get it right. I'm like, if I do 50 versions of this thing, one of them's going to be right.
Maybe the 51st will be right.
I don't think I've ever done that, right? Go through all different possible conversations.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to hack. It's like a foundational myth that I believe that a certain sequence of words said with the right intonation and meaning will get a predictable result or a desired result. That's just not true. Yeah. But man, that's what my brain does when it goes to autopilot.
Yeah.
And especially if something's stressing me out, starts, just playing out scenarios and they're never right.
Yeah.
They seem so right.
So what is it Bo is avoiding?
I don't know that we can break it down right here in real time. Get a little more into the weeds, but it's fascinating to think about those things, right? And and every human is going to respond differently. But I think if you can show up and be who you are, authentic, great people with high integrity, and have communication, clarity, we'll make progress 99.9% of the time. You can't help if someone else isn't open and ready,
right? But
you show up and do. Have that conversation or whatever. I'd say almost every hard conversation I've had in my life, with the exception of one, it's been great.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And you can't help how other people respond.
That's right.
You were talking about confidence a little while ago, and it reminded me, the way you were framing it reminded me of a concept in Strategic Coach. They have these 4 C's, right? And you can, like, for me, like, there are certain things I have a tremendous amount of confidence in. I've done them before. I feel like I've done them well. I've got the reps in. I've put the time in. I've got a lot of confidence. But there are other things where I would lack a tremendous amount of confidence. So, anybody in any business, if you're wanting to go bigger or whatever, you're going to step into a place where you have less confidence.
Right.
So the first thing is a commitment to get there. That's the first C. And to actually go after that commitment takes a lot of courage. Like you don't have what you need yet. And so, man, if I'm gonna 10x the business or pivot and go that way, or we were talking about a book I read last couple days that's got me really chewing on some big potential ideas, and I lack confidence. But if I were going to go that way, I have to commit. It would take courage to do it, and then I would need new capabilities. I would need to develop new capabilities to do that.
Small acts of courage.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of the phrasing that got me thinking about that. And then that leads to confidence.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so you almost have to move before like you wait for the confidence to do something. Like, it just didn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, I used to coach actors, right?
Okay.
So, and a lot of people that were scared to do it, but always wanted to do it and get up, and just so scared to do it. It's a scary thing. And I came up with, like, look, all you need to have confidence in to begin to do this is confidence in your ability to learn. You can learn, right?
Yeah.
Right? We learn by failing, and we learn by doing. We learn by actually trying it. So you just need confidence in your ability to learn. You can learn, right? And I just thought I was so brilliant coming up with that.
You were very brilliant.
There's that. Say a little appreciation. the human connection.
That was
And
good,
the
right? That was good.
capabilities really are built with skill development. So we do a lot of skill development within our company too, right? Like, we teach emotional intelligence. I am shocked at how low most people's EQ is.
Wow.
But it's life-changing when you scale it. And it's kind of like in a company, you start out at a job and you're working on spreadsheets, and you blink in 10 years, you're the CFO. You are not working on spreadsheets, but you have never been taught how to manage and lead people.
Yeah.
And that's where 99% of your headaches come in.
Wow.
When you go home at night, you're not worried about the spreadsheet. You were confident in that, but you have no idea how to manage and lead people. And that's entirely different skill set.
Right.
Skill set. Managing hard conversations, managing transitions, working with empathy versus sympathy. What are all these things, and how do we navigate it, and how do we even learn about it?
That's right.
But you have to have the desire and the circumstance to want to grow in that. So that's really fun stuff, because that's just the learning part.
That's right. Laying in bed thinking, oh man, Justin got in a fight with top producer Todd Humphreys in the lobby again. How am I going to solve this?
Look, I know you got to get out of here, and that time is short, but tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah. So this is just kind of a crazy story. Last December, I ran at UK, and my coach would always say, "You're kind of an interesting bird. You should write a book." So he sort of planted a seed in me years ago because I was always doing 100 things, and I've always had that desire. But so I thought I'll write a book when I turn 40. Well, I had another child, and I just never have a quiet moment. So I was in church last December by myself, the only person in the whole church, spent an hour just praying. It's called adoration. Like, God, if you want me to write a book, send me a sign and I'll do it. And I never pray like that. Well, the following week, I got 7 different text messages from people I hadn't heard from in a decade or more. Just wanted to tell you I had a dream you wrote a book. Have you ever thought about writing a book? You should write a book.
Whoa.
I'm like, wow, slap you upside the head. So my husband had a conference in January, and I told my mom about it, and she so graciously watched our 7 kids. When you have 1 or 2, you might be able to pawn them off, but 7, nobody's volunteering.
No, yeah, wow.
So she's a hero. She's always ready to help. And she watched them for 4 days, and I went to the conference with my husband, and I stayed in the hotel room and wrote this book. And I really felt like God told me exactly what he wanted me to write. I want you to write a 115-page book. I don't know how many pages it is.
Now, let me interrupt you real quick. I told you she was a super connector, right? So, like, who told you you couldn't write a book in 4 days?
Oh, Pat Lencioni.
He said you couldn't.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Because she's friends with him. Like, he wrote all these.
Friends with who?
Lencioni. He's great.
No, I got about 5 of his books back in my office.
He's written 13 bestsellers. Like, if you go to the airport, you'll see 4 of his books on the front thing. I think he sold like 20 million books in 15 different languages.
And they're fantastic. He writes business fables. So instead of writing a business book, he wraps it in a story.
Okay, yeah.
And they're great.
Yeah, they're really helpful. He's an amazing author, and he's also a great friend. So I was at his house the weekend before down, and he relocated his business recently from San Francisco to Franklin, Tennessee. And so I try to get down there every other month or so. And in fact, his wife just called while I was waiting on you all. And he said, you just go for 2 weeks to a hotel and you can knock it out. You got to have quiet to write a book. You cannot be interrupted because you could never get in the flow.
Right.
I said, Pat, I can't get 2 weeks, but I think I can get 4 days. He's like, I don't know if you can do 4 days, but see what you can do. So, it's like, challenge accepted. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not as good as Pat Lencioni's books, but, he did give me an endorsement, which is great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the book?
It's called Made for More. And it's really just about all of this that we're talking about of, really God asked me to share my story of where I have failed, where I have not been as good of a wife as I should be, not as good of a mom as I should be. And, I don't think there's any failures in life. Either you win or you learn. Mm-hmm. But I do think there's failures whenever you talk about how you affect people, right? When you leave a mark on someone that hurts them, that is, to me, a regret.
Oh, yeah.
I don't regret anything in business. I've made plenty of mistakes, wasted plenty of money on things. I don't care about that. But whenever I look back at being so hard on my 4-year-old, if they needed to, clean the dishes, I'm like, they're 4. Yeah. Or they're whining and you're quit whining. That all they want is your attention.
Right.
And my older 3 are amazing. They're almost 18. The twins are 16 almost. Anyway, they'll all flip together, but they're so awesome. But I was so hard on them. And then my little 2 probably have 0 fear of their mother because I'm like, whatever you need, Mama loves you.
Right. And
the balance is probably somewhere in the middle. But so maybe the 4 and 5 got it right. But so I really do think there are regrets. And so he just asked me to share that in the book and how so many of us are stuck in our heads in our lives or take it all on and think that there's nobody out there to help us. And you're not meant to do that. And you also have a beautiful life. Almost all of us have a beautiful life. It's whether you choose to see it or not.
Right.
And the goal is really to help people try to wake up and see that. And if you are stuck, to get some help, whether that's, with your body, mind, or soul, whatever it is, take some action in your life, because I think so many people don't love their lives. They wake up, go to a job that they don't really like, show up and do it again tomorrow, and try to bide their time until they hit 59 and a half and can retire. And that's not a purposeful life. Right? Like, terrible. Yeah. If you hate what you do and you're just living for a paycheck, who cares, Right. And I know there is a balance of having to provide, but I do believe if you are who you're meant to be, you will set the world on fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I believe that too.
So that's really what the purpose of the book is.
Yeah.
And how to get off of that hamster wheel.
Yes. That I want to read it.
It's on Amazon. I just brought.
Yeah, I got a copy of it in there.
A copy.
Okay, great. And if you're listening to this, you can find the link to that book in the show notes. You also have a podcast coming up,
Yes,
right? Can you tell us a little bit
So
about that?
I have a podcast that went for 2 years. It's got a lot of great episodes on it. It's called Girl Water Your Grass. So that was a spinoff of Girl Wash Your Face. I don't know if you remember that. There was a book that made like the top 10 list, and I think she would talk about taking care of your family, and she got famous and left her family. So I said, well, girl,
She
wash
got
your
famous
face.
and left her family?
Something marriage fell
okay.
apart. I think fame is the worst thing for the human person. By the way, the worst because
So
it's all about you.
I've heard a lot of famous people say that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. No, you gotta.
We've been around a lot of high profile people, and I would much rather talk to you all.
Yeah.
Maybe you're famous. I don't know.
We're not famous.
In certain circles.
No.
We will be when we go to Vancouver.
That's pretty fun, But I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
wouldn't give you 15 cents for that. But
Yeah.
I lost my train of
Girl, water your
yeah.
grass.
So Girl Water Your Grass was, I said, girl wash your face. Should have been watering her grass. And then we did this spin off of that. But the one upcoming that we'll launch in November is called Defining Moments. And it's a podcast with JP and MK, which JP Blevins played basketball at the University of Kentucky from 98 to 03. So he's well known in the state. And he's just been an amazing entrepreneur, amazing businessman, not just an athlete. He went and did 2 startups in North Carolina that both went public. And one of them, it was a bank that is now the largest SBA lender, Small Business Administration. The largest SBA lender in the nation now. And they started that in 08 with about 10 guys in flip-flops down North Carolina. And then they created a company called Encino, and they do software for internet banking. And I think that company is evaluated around $7 or $8 billion. Wow. So they've been very successful, and he's come back to Lexington. And so we hope to bring stories of people who have done things around the state that are really interesting and give hope to people that they can really do something impactful in the world as well.
That's amazing. Okay, Defining Moments, that's upcoming. Girl, Water Your Grass. You can watch 2 years worth or listen to 2 years worth of podcast right now. Anything else you want to tell our listeners if they can find you or
you
online?
Can find me on Instagram. I'm Mary Kay Wathen. Our company's west of perfection. That perfection is never the goal. We reach just west of it, which is growth. And we love what we do, and we're just open to whoever we're supposed to work with, but we love what we do. We do host a leadership summit once a year in Lexington, Kentucky, to try to bring people together. Basically, it's to what you spoke about, that it's lonely at the top. Mm-hmm. And so it's mostly business owners, C-suite, and to build community around that. Pat Lencioni is coming and speaking for us this year. As we have about 6 superstars coming, because we never want it to be about one person, but that we all point to the creator and not ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's undertones of people that have a North Star other than themselves. So if you're a narcissistic leader, I'm not your girl. Yeah. But if you want to grow and have some humility, we can make a lot of progress together, and we'll have a lot of fun in the process.
Amazing. What was that website one more time?
westofperfection.com.
Love it. West of Perfection. And Wathen is Wathen.
You got it.
Right? Mary Kay Wathen on Instagram. Thank you so much. Is there anything else?
Oh, I mean,
we could go forever and ever.
We could go forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this is great. Thanks so much
for having me. It's been so fun, and I'm grateful.
Yeah. We're grateful for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.